Hi everyone, welcome back. We are at our 10-month anniversary. If you can believe it, we're almost at a whole year of living on the road. And for our 10-month, we're actually here in Texas, in Terlingua.
Feels like we've been in Texas forever.
Yeah, we actually spent the entire month of April in Texas
Yeah.
and part of March as well, and now we're spending just the very beginning of May here too.
Yeah, and it's been great, and we've really enjoyed our time in Texas so far. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Right. So we were just discussing amongst ourselves.
Because that's what we normally do. When there's only two of you, there's a lot of discussing amongst yourselves.
But we were just discussing what was our favorite part of this past month. So Chris, what was your favorite?
Well, like the first thing that jumped in my head was the river walk in San Antonio, which was, I guess that is my favorite. I mean, it's the first thing that jumped in, and there was just so much that I really liked about it. I would love to go back there again, like immediately. Really enjoyed that. But I mean, here we are, then I look around here, we're back in the desert climate that we love. Big Bend has been amazing. Like, how could I really put the Riverwalk above that? But yeah, it was really great. So I'm gonna go Riverwalk, just edged out Big Bend.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shocking. I think it's the heat that's getting to you.
I'm a little woozy right now, but
yeah.
I'm sticking with my choice.
So
it's about, what is it, 10 a.m.? It's about 85 already. So
yes.
yeah,
and
we're slowly adjusting to the desert heat again.
Maybe.
I don't know. A little bit.
Yesterday I was cursing it again.
Yeah.
By 5 o'clock hiking, I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So for you, yeah, favorite. What was it?
My favorite, I think, I actually had a lot of favorites this time around.
Whoa. Top favorite.
No.
I have a lot of favorites too.
Just listen. I have, my first one is that my family came to visit. So part of my family, my mother, one of my sisters, and 3 of her 4 children. The youngest stayed home with dad. So my older sister, 3 of her 4 children, and my mother came to visit us. And so we did Texas Hill Country, San Antonio, Austin with them, and it was just outstanding to share that with them and to see my family. But it was also, it just reminded me of how great RVing and traveling and learning about new areas is for children. So if you have children, I mean, you really take every opportunity that you can, because they were just soaking it all up. I mean, they had every state, I don't know what do they call those? They're like state markers or whatever. They had all of them memorized. Like, I'll give you the example since I don't know what they're called. I think they're characters, state characters.
Sure.
I think that's the name of them. But like the bird of Texas, which is the mockingbird. The Texas state flower is the bluebonnet.
The large mammal.
The large mammal is the longhorn. The small mammal is the armadillo. I mean, they had them all memorized. It was so
cute.
They could
just rattle them off.
Right, and they loved it. They were like, quiz us. So they love learning about Texas, and I love learning about Texas. I loved the Alamo. That was fantastic. The missions were fantastic. Even just touring hill country is so amazing.
That was beautiful.
And the small towns, the people in those small towns, I mean, you just feel at home within seconds in the small towns. It's really, really amazing. But then we came to Big Bend, and that's also one of my favorites, because it is just out of this world amazing. I mean, it's the biggest national park, and we're gonna show...
The scale of everything is just boundless. It's incredible.
Right.
I mean, you drive 4 or 5 hours, and we came from San Antonio, you drive 4 or 5 hours with nothing around you before you even get to the national park.
Right.
I mean,
and
it's
in
isolated.
the national park, what's really nice is that there are so few people visiting. It's part of it, I think, is its location geographically. It's just so far out of the way of everything, but also it's just not as popular of a national park. But that's what makes it awesome too, because you're on trails with no one. You can drive for miles in the park without seeing a single other person or other car even.
Like, there were numerous times where, I mean, you don't even look for a pull-off to stop to take a picture. You just stop in the road and you hop out, you take the picture, you hop back in.
It's a lot more freedom.
You're really on your own.
Right.
It's a great feeling.
And we're going to do a whole separate video and post series on Big Bend, but being back at a national park, and Big Bend in particular, is just amazing. So those were our favorites. I don't think we didn't do too much to the RV this month.
No, she's been doing really good. it's been a busy month, so yeah, we haven't. The water heater's making some kind of a weird whining noise whenever we run the hot water, so I've been messing around with that. I shut it off, drained it, cleaned it, replaced the anode rod in it, all the simple things that you can try and do, and got her all hooked back up, and it's still making the same noise. So, we'll keep
So that
troubleshooting
worked.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
check
still
that
giving
off
us
the
hot
list.
water,
Yeah.
and maybe I'm okay with that. So the noise really isn't that bad. Whatever.
Yeah, and our air conditioning's still working great. I mean, ours is 10 years
Thank
old.
goodness. Yeah.
And so we just keep waiting for that day when we're in 100-degree weather and the air conditioning does not work.
Oh.
And it has not happened yet.
Actually, when we got to Big Bend National Park, we were staying in the actual park down in Rio Grande Village at the RV campground there, and it has like 20 spots, and we were able to get a spot there.
And they have full hookups, which is the only place I've seen it in a national park.
And we backed in, it was like, I don't know, 2, 3 in the afternoon, or maybe even a little later. And we plug in, and the air conditioning goes on for about 5 seconds and then shuts down. And then we just start seeing people come popping out of their campers. The electric had gone down in the whole park.
Right.
So luckily in a couple hours they got it fixed, but we got a little taste of what 92 degrees inside the camper feels like. And it
brought me to my knees, people. I had a bucket of water. Even the water was so warm. I had a bucket of water, put my feet in it, stripped down to the bare necessities of clothing, and literally just sat there like
and
just
we
waiting.
had like that was the water. That was so when we pulled into the water spilled on the trip. When we pulled into the park and we're cruising along.
We had a bad move though.
Yeah, that move was a little rough. We're cruising along and we hit this really bumpy part in the road, like really bumpy. I mean, the trailer, the truck, everything's rocking. Like it was one of those where you when you hit a really bad pothole and you're like, it just hurts. It's kind of like that. But whatever, and we've hit those before. So we finished the trip. We only had like a half hour left. We pull in, and I hop out and I look at the camper, and towards like where the slide goes into the camper, there's water dripping from the bottom of the camper. And I'm like,
on the exterior.
that's odd, because like it's not coming from the roof, because like that's where the air conditioner will drain. Plus we hadn't been running the air conditioner. I was like, oh, that's not good. So we hop in and go back to look, and we have one of the those Berkey water filters that we store on the ground when we're moving. I strap it into one of the drawers. Well, the bump dislodged the drawer. Berkey goes
Actually
over.
broke the drawer.
Broke the drawer, yeah.
Yeah.
And about at least 1.5 gallons of water out on the floor. And there was literally standing water in places on the floor. So,
and it was so hot, and we were trying to clean all that up. And then what happened, okay, so here's the interesting thing about Texas. There's a lot of ants everywhere, and this is the only place we've had trouble.
A lot of ants.
We don't eat sugar. We don't keep any sugar or cookie. We don't eat that kind of stuff because I have an autoimmune disease, so we don't keep any of that. So we don't usually have any problems with ants or anything. That water in the desert was like a magnet for those ants.
Oh my gosh, it was like we just sprinkled honey or sugar all over the floor or something. I mean, it was amazing. Within a day, we had hundreds, actually. I mean, I hate to say it, we had hundreds in there.
So finishing that, we finally got rid of all the ants naturally, and
yes, it really wasn't that bad. Cleaned a lot, vacuumed a lot, sprayed, disinfected. We won that battle for now.
So now we are, like I said, Interlingua. We're only here a few more days, and then we're going to head a little bit farther north in Texas, and then within the next week, I guess, we're heading out of Texas and into New Mexico. So we have a lot of things coming up. I'm going to be finishing up posts and videos on Hill Country and then Big Bend as well. So the nice thing about, right now, we did stay in the park and now we're outside the park, but the nice thing about Terlingua is it is a small little town, but they also have what they call Terlingua, the ghost town, which
it's about 4 miles west of where I think where we're actually staying. It's called Studi Butte, and we're just like on the map. It'll be like Studi Butte / Terlingua. I think we're actually in Studi Butte. 4 miles west is Terlingua.
Yeah, and the so the ghost town part, it's not really a ghost town. It's more it's not really a ghost town. It's more of a town where there are ruins. So like now they have arts and some like an art scene and some restaurants and things that have moved in, and but they're all in among the ruins from what was an old mining town for Cimarron, which was used to make mercury. So I hope you Life on the
Apparently
road,
we're
people.
part of a tour. People
Yeah.
go by in a bus waving at us. So whatever.
Yeah.
We think we're okay to be up on this hill.
Okay.
What were you saying?
On that note, we're just gonna
Yeah,
call
I
it
think we're
quits.
gonna wrap it up.
All right. So, happy 10th anniversary,
Yes.
and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
So we're here at the same location, and it's just that we're pointing in the opposite direction now, so that you can actually see our campground and the town here, and you can even see possibly Terlingua, the ghost town, far in the distance there.
Be a little tough, but
And
yeah.
this is one of the few places there is a. I can still hear that car. Direction. Okay. Anyway, this is a. The nice thing about here is that there is a garage, so if you do need repairs for some reason, it's one of the few places, because trust me, Big Bend is huge, but also even the surrounding area, there's really not a whole lot. So we're on the west side of the national park, and there is a garage here. There are also multiple RV campgrounds and other campgrounds for tents as well. So there is a small, it's not, would you even call it a grocery store? It's more like a town store.
General store seems to
General
be
store,
the,
yeah,
the
small
name,
general
yeah.
store, so that you can get some food and stock up
A little
on
bit of
things.
everything they got, yeah.
Yeah, things that you might need. So, welcome to the desert, and we hope you enjoyed. And again, that was our 10-month anniversary.